Okay, so next we need to add the Flutter tool to our path variable as it's described over here. So the reason we want to do that is that so that the Flutter command is recognized by the system when we type it from our terminal. Now, because we've extracted the Flutter SDK over here, we can open this folder, which is the Flutter installation, and if we go inside the bin directory, we find this command here called Flutter. So this is the one that we want to add to our path. Now the way we do that is to go back to our terminal and type in this command over here. So we say export path equals current directory / flutter bin / path. Don't forget to put the dollar path over here, and this is done. Okay, so we have now managed to set the path variable. However, this is something that will only work for this current terminal window. So this will only work temporarily. What we really want to do is to make sure that our system is always configured with the correct path variable. In other words, we want to permanently add Flutter to our path. And this is something that is explained on this document over here. So we can tap on this link and we find some additional instructions. So let's take a look at how we can do that. In here we can see that there are 3 steps that we need to take. The first one says determine the directory where you place the Flutter SDK. So in here we have done this, and if we type pwd, which stands for print working directory, we find the folder where we put our Flutter SDK. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do, it says here, is to open or create a $home/.bash profile. And this is a file where typically system-wide settings are stored. You might actually have or not have this file on your system, or it might be even under a different file name that you need to make this change. In any case, what we are going to do is follow this step now. So we are going to copy this path that we just found, and then we are going to open the bash profile file with an editor. So the way I'm doing is to use Emacs, and then I'm going to say home bash profile. Now, in this case, the editor opens, but there's actually no content for this file, and that is actually because in my system I don't have a bash profile file already. What I'm going to do next is to follow the third step on this document, which says to export the path with the settings that we need. So we say export path equals, I'm going to paste the folder that I copied previously, and then I'm going to say flutter /bin $path. Then I'm going to save and exit the editor. The way we do that in Emacs is to say Ctrl X, Ctrl S to save, and then Ctrl X, Ctrl C to quit. Okay, so now that we have exported our path configuration to the bash profile, we can try to test this out. And the way that I'm going to do that is to open a new terminal over here, and I'm just going to try to print my path. Now, what I'm getting in this case is something that begins with the path that we have set for our Flutter binary. So this is configured correctly. Now, one more check that we can do quickly here is to type in which Flutter, and by doing so, if the system finds a match for the Flutter binary, it will tell us where it is located. And this is exactly the folder where we extracted our Flutter distribution. Now, you should be able to run this command and get the same thing with the folder that you've chosen. And if for any reason this is not working for you, I encourage you to stop here, watch this video one more time, and repeat the steps once again.